Good morning, all of you. A very warm welcome to all of you on this Sunday morning. Never ever I remember I take classes on Sundays, but except like this, when we are committed to complete the portion on time by 15th of October, these live classes should be completed so that you get enough time for revision. Not taking much time, starting now with pearls of wisdom. Every day we are starting. And thank you so much for the response that you all are really enjoying. दीप्ति मैम तो रोज बोलते हैं, बात तो तब बने जब दीप्ति मैम के स्टूडेंट बोले. So I welcome here right now with me on this Sunday morning Bharat Purohit, my student from 2015 batch. Bharat, are you there? You can come on screen.
Yes, ma'am. It's always an honor to interact with you or be it your students.
Good morning. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation. I know you get holidays only on weekend. Bharat is my student in 2014-15, took Group 1 coaching. He has written all the chapter-wise exam, I remember, for Group 2 Advanced Accounting. It was very hot summer. And I don't know, somehow, but we managed and they all did the class. And one thing I learn so many things from all my students. And one thing I have learned from Bharat is commitment. Whenever I'm late for class or even if I'm on time, students are granted permission to pick up the marker and just write down whatever they want to write. And those who miss the class, they are ready to learn so that they all come in track. This is one habit we always followed at concept classes that I think made every student a teacher. I was so proud to see Bharat when I came one day in the class and he had filled up all the board with conditions of buyback. Buyback of shares, dear students, it's like a 3-in-1 topic. You study in law, you study in advanced accounting, and you study in capital gains also. So this linking of subject, he had done it so nicely. Do you remember or not, Bharat?
Yes, ma'am. I very well remember because you had just walked in and I had finished, writing that.
Yes, I really like that. When students are so enthusiastic, a teacher is going to give the best. And then Bharat qualified as a CA 2 years back. He's working at SkySpecs as a business analyst. Over to you, Bharat. These are all inter students. Some are CMA final students because we are taking business head. It's a very common topic. Everyone is joining in. You give your inputs or the mindset or whatever you feel the student should have. Over to you.
Sure. Hello, dear students. Ma'am has given a brief introduction for me, and I think that's very much sufficient. Not taking much of your time because I know for your preparation, studies, and also the practice part of what you have studied in the classes is very much important. So I'll just keep it short. So coming to the first, I'll start it with a quote. If you can dream something, you can definitely do it, and you can definitely achieve it. I would like to tell you a story of a boy who was, who scored 5 marks in his sixth standard test. Okay, and it was in the subject of mathematics. And we all know that mathematics is very much important when it comes to CA or any professional exam. So, if by any chance, if you feel that person could not become a CA, well, that is very much wrong because that person is a live example speaking to you right now. Yes, I did score 5 out of 25 in a mathematics test, and I was very much poor in marks. But I had this one particular dream that I definitely want to achieve something in my life. And if I could dream it and do it, then definitely anybody who can dream it will very well achieve it. Coming to the second, I have a couple of tips for you. Second thing, which is nothing but finish what you start. So we at times, often be it a chapter or be it anything that we take up, we don't finish it because we get lazy or we just procrastinate it to such a level that we don't want to pick it up. So please don't ever do that. If you have started something, please finish it. That brings me to the second segment, which is nothing but three important tips for you. One of them being practice, practice, and practice. This should be your mantra. Every day, 30 to 60 minutes of your time, please dedicate to written practice. Then, if there's a revision, please do that as well. Now, if the Gen Z these days is very much into playing mobile phone games. There they say, whenever you start, uh, take frequent breaks and play responsibly. I would like to modify it to a certain extent and tell you
30 to 60 minutes of your time.
take breaks and study responsibly. Don't take frequent breaks, but do take breaks. You can't, study at a stretch, but if you can do that, that's very well. but please study responsibly and take breaks in between. And yep, that is something that I have recently learned. Okay, this is the third segment that I've planned for you all. uh, Having a growth mindset. And I remember Steve Jobs' quote here. He says, life's gonna hit you in the head with a brick, but don't lose faith. And this is something that I had on my study table whenever I was studying. Whenever I felt like, I just want to give up, I don't want to take. There are multiple occasions when I've told Deepti ma'am that I don't want to continue CA, but she is already somebody who has brought me back. And I have never lost faith in her, and neither should you. And please have a growth mindset or a positive or optimistic outlook for your shortcomings. Just in case you feel like you've fallen down and you don't feel like getting up, please take this as an opportunity of learning that there was this way that you had fallen down, yet you choose to lift yourself up and keep moving forward. So that will be all from my end, everyone. Thank you very much for your time. And I've learned a lot from Deepti ma'am over a couple of years. She's been my mentor, my friend, my guide, be it my personal shortcomings, be it my academics or everything. And she taking up these, very different or intriguing initiatives for you students and all is very much an honor for me to be here and also be able to communicate with you. Just a 5 minute session would never suffice how much, I'm grateful to I am or what I've studied or talking to you about a lot many things. But please do remember that you all have the capability of achieving it, and you very well will achieve it. That's all from my end, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a wonderful input, Bharat. What you have said is absolutely right. You need to practice daily writing practice and few things, what we don't like, we say बाद में करेंगे, बाद में करेंगे. वो बाद में कभी नहीं आता, तो वो जो बड़ा वाला है ना, उसको खा जाना है पहले च्यू करके.
Correct, ma'am.
So nice, so nice. Thank you so much, Bharat, for just on one call. In fact, we have not talked on call also. I was also having some schedule in morning, evening classes, and I've just put a voice note. And you said, absolutely, ma'am, surely I'll come. And so proud to see you all as colleagues now, CA Bharat Purohit. Love that. God bless you. Achieve more and more in your life, and bring so many proud moments to your parents. I've seen your parents' happiness when you qualify. So that's what I want all the students who are in your journey, in this journey right now, to bring that happiness to the parents, to yourself, and live an amazing life, right? Thank
Indeed,
you
ma'am.
so much, Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Bye
ma'am. Have a
bye.
great day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. So here we start with business head today. Business head, thoda sa patiently सीखना है. How many of you have missed the video yesterday because I took the class in evening? मैं जो अभी कर रही हूँ ना, people at home are surprised, like Sunday you are taking the class. But करना है, जब कुछ commitment है कि time पे complete करना है तो करना है, ठीक है? Right? Take all these inputs really as pearls of wisdom, because when they are speaking, imagine they are speaking exactly from heart. You all are having students. They were also students like you in 2014, 15, 12. Tomorrow you will meet my first batch students, 2008, 10 batch के students. So this is like, see, just take whatever you feel and then correlate कि okay, this is my weakness also, कि जो नहीं पसंद है उसको हम push करते रहते हैं, तो मत करो. कभी ना कभी तो उसको करना है. Coming back to this, don't miss any of the live sessions, and please, this is not a revision class कि मैं बाद में सुन लूंगी. Please share it with your friends, and you also understand this is a fast track but regular like coaching wherein I'm giving you all the concepts. Not even one concept I will miss. One concept problem we will do for business head. Okay, right? And then we will do adless today. Business head might take 2.5 classes. कल का class आज का और कल का भी शायद आधा लगेगा. It's worth doing that. And this video should be watched by all my final students. CMA final batch, which I completed now in June, and they are writing in December. These 2-3 lectures are must for you to score 14 and 16 marks in problems related to company assessment math. ठीक है? Right? शुरू करें. Any doubts are there? Comment in the live chat. संडे मॉर्निंग को अच्छा एनर्जेटिक बनाते हैं और शुरू करते हैं रिविजन के साथ. Business head, we have done yesterday. Chargeability section 28, which says that if you get an income from business and profession, it's going to be taxable here. Then 30 to 37 is sections which says these deductions or these expenses are allowed as business expenses. Because if they are not allowed, you have to do add and less, which I'll tell you in the later part today. Right now, section 30 is related to building which is used for business purpose. Do you remember, dear students, in house property, 25% building is self-occupied, 50% is let out, remaining 25, what is used for business purpose? Yes, right. So that related to the building which is used for business purpose, can we claim related expense? The related to that building, repairs, rent, municipal taxes, insurance, whatever you have paid is allowed in section 30. Section 31 says about other assets, plant and machinery, furniture, electronic equipments. Related to that, rent, repairs, all is allowed. Section 32 is the pumping heart of this chapter, which talks about depreciation. It is mandatory to charge depreciation in income tax, to be charged by owner by WDV method. Okay, right. And there is a difference in how you charge the depreciation in accounts and how you do it in income tax. This I am not elaborating, but in income tax, we don't charge the depreciation asset wise, we charge it block wise. Block is group of assets falling within the same block having the same rate of depreciation. For example, building. So I may have 4 or 5 buildings which will all come here. Okay. Furniture, plant and machinery, intangibles. These are the blocks, and depreciation is charged block wise. Now, whatever asset is purchased and used for more than 180 days, full year's depreciation. Less than 180 days, half years. And date of purchase is not important. The date you put to use is important. In income tax, if you sell individual assets, we don't calculate profit and loss. In fact, the format of the block is after the sale value, whatever is balance, you charge depreciation. So in the year of sale, there is no depreciation in income tax. Whereas in accounts, if you sell the asset on 28th of February, 11 months का आप depreciation charge करते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है यहाँ. ठीक है ना? If there is whole block is sold and if there is a profit, that profit is not business income. Remove it. That's a profit which will be treated as short-term capital gain, taxable in capital gain, fourth head of income. Yes, when the block is sold and there is a loss, it is always treated as short-term capital loss, right? Okay. Now, when you purchase the asset, whatever expenses you have incurred, installation, freight, insurance, till the asset is ready to put to use, capitalize. GST also, you will add it if you are not claiming input tax credit. Interest on loan also, you will add it when till the asset is ready to put to use. If you have taken a loan and if you have paid interest, add it. Two things you need to deduct. Related to asset, if you have got some government grant, subsidy, some trial run income, you can reduce it and you get cost of the asset. Format of block of asset is opening WDV, add the purchases, balance, minus the sales value, balance. On this balance, you charge depreciation. Okay, right. And I've taught you yesterday many assets and related to rates also. But most important rates which we need to remember for exam, one is building, 10%. Temporary structures. Okay, let me tell you, dear students, highest rate of depreciation is 40%. उसके ऊपर कोई भी नहीं है. Plant and machinery, including vehicles, electronics, all is 15%. But if the vehicles are used by transporter, buses, lorries, passenger buses and all, then double the rate to 30%. All energy saving devices, pollution control equipments, windmills, all that 40%. Intangible assets are to be depreciated at 25% other than goodwill. ठीक है? Computer, books, computer related software, all 40%. And related to this, we have solved problem. While you solve problem, opening WDV, add purchases. In the purchases, I want you to write the date of purchase, so that if it is used for more than 180 days, full year's depreciation. If not, half. Okay? Balance minus sales value के बाद जो balance है ना, उस पे depreciation है. That means in the year of sale, no depreciation. Then I've also covered yesterday the concept of additional depreciation. Put me a comment. Is this revision helpful? It's already 11:20, 11 o'clock का class है. कल जो पढ़ाया वो खुद से पढ़ लेना. आज नया पढ़ते हैं तो अब ना लिंक नहीं करोगे yesterday के class को. If you have followed yesterday, this revision is for you to learn it. So don't skip this. Don't join late. Huh? Right. Additional depreciation. Additional depreciation is allowed only to manufacturers in the year of purchase of new asset which is used in factory. It's not allowed for ships, aircraft, office asset, or second-hand asset. If the asset is used for less than 180 days, then 10% is allowed now, 10% next year. Otherwise, the rate of additional depreciation is 20%. So whenever you are a manufacturer, then you have to charge depreciation normal also and additional also. All clear to all of you, right? Chalo. Let us continue with the one more problem which is asked for 6 marks. Yeah. Yesterday we have done 13th and 14th, and right now I'm taking up 15th question in class now. Are you all with me? कल टेलीग्राम में देखा हमने फिर से ये लिंक शेयर किया है. Take a printout of this, dear students. A newly qualified chartered accountant, Dhaval, commenced practice, and so he's a CA or CMA. Excuse me. See, only related to depreciation is surely going to come in CMA inter exam. If you see the mock test paper of the CMA inter, वहां भी मिलेगा. जुलाई का पेपर अभी रिजल्ट नहीं आया, हमने ऑलरेडी सॉल्व कर दिया है. आप देखो, लाइव भी क्लास लिया था, वो भी चेक करो एक बार. Right. Now, let us charge depreciation for Dhaval. It's a very nice question. Computer is acquired on 27 September but put to use on 1st October. 1st October means it is used for more than 180 days. 31 days of October, November, December, January, February and March. करो कितने दिन आ रहे कैलकुलेटर में? 31 days of October, November, December, January, February and March. 182 days. समझ में आ रहा है? So 3rd October के बाद if you purchase the asset, you are using it for less than 180 days. It's a little in-depth problem, but I don't know. I really want you all to comment ki, am I making you do over tough problem? Are you feeling that? Because this is a professional coaching, dear students, and these are professional exam. थोड़ा tough करके जाओ फिर easy आएगा तो बहुत मजा आएगा. So here computer पे how much depreciation I will charge? 40%. Next, computer software is purchased on 2nd but put to use on 8th October. 8th October means less than 180 days. तो 40% का 50% या half, जो भी आप कर लो. कंप्यूटर प्रिंटर 1st अक्टूबर को ही खरीदा है और पुट टू यूज किया है. 2nd को अक्वायर किया और 1st को पहले एक दिन लाके यूज करना शुरू कर दिया, तो 40%. ठीक है. बुक्स आउट ऑफ विच एनुअल पब्लिकेशंस. ठीक है, एनुअल पब्लिकेशन है या कुछ भी है, it is purchased on 1st April, and books for professionals or for library, books are depreciated at 40%. Yes, books are the assets. Office furniture 10%. Laptop, it is purchased on 26 September, put to use on 8th October. अब 8th October is less than 180 days, तो लैपटॉप के लिए कितना डेप्रिसिएशन है? 40,000 और फिर उसका 50%. So shall we take up this depreciation in block form? Computer, computer software, computer printer. Yes. All this you can take it in one block. Books और लैपटॉप, ये सब एक ब्लॉक होगा, फर्नीचर एक ब्लॉक है. टेक it very carefully. Laptop, computer software, books are all depreciated at 40%, so they will be depreciated in a group at block is 40%. Let us do this sum in notebook for proper presentation. ठीक है, चलो. आज ब्लैक से लिखेंगे, कभी नहीं लिखते हैं. I'm doing problem number 15 in the material. Let us calculate depreciation as per section 32 block of asset method, WDV method. Yes, for Mr. Dhaval, he is a chartered accountant. शुरू करें साथ में. Yes, first block 1 will be like computer and books, and rate of depreciation is like 40%. So particulars, and we can start. First is computer. I hope you all are having printout of this computer. It is for 35,000 and it is put to use on 1st October. So 40%. 35,000 का 40%. 14,000. Then computer software. Computer software is 8,500. 40% का भी half या 50%, because it is used for 8th of October 22, less than 180 days. So 1,700. Okay. Next, after the computer, we have computer printer. Out of this, any one can also come for MCQs. So I'm making you practice all together. This is like a problem, or any one of it can come as MCQs. Computer printer is purchased and used on 1st October only. So 40%. 12,500 ka 40%, that is 5,000. Then we have books. In the same block, we have books. Books are of 13,000 and they are purchased on 1st April. So 13,000 ka 40%. 5,200. After the books, we have laptop. Laptop is 43,000 and it is purchased and used on 8th October. So 40% का भी आधा या 50%. So 43,000 into 40% divide by 2, 8,600. ठीक है? Right. So this is all about the first block. Plus 5,200 plus 5,000 plus 1,700 plus 14,000. 34,500 is the first block depreciation. Now block 2 is your office furniture. There's a single item and furniture is used 3 lakh ka 10%. That is 30,000. So your total depreciation is coming to 64,500. If you feel I can check and understand, it's not right. When you are writing, you are thinking in your mind, ki even if this is coming for computation of income, you should be able to do it. है ना? कुछ भी पूछे तो कर सकना. Any doubts you have, please ask and clarify in the live chat. पूछ लो आपको कोई भी doubt है तो. Because closing with depreciation, enough. Yesterday, more than 45 minutes, 1 hour class I gave for depreciation. Interfinal, जो भी students को अगर depreciation से related doubt है, you can clear it by watching yesterday's video. Okay? All clear? Put me a message. Live chat, I don't know, I'm not able to replay. But अगर आप बाद में भी वीडियो के कमेंट करते हैं तो we can see that. चलो, next part. These are all problems in our साथी batch. Regular batch में हम काफी सारे problem करते हैं. कल हमने कर लिए. Proportionate depreciation will be allowed if it is a case of amalgamation and all. This problem I made you do now. 9th वाला हमने किए. Chalo. Let me take you to the next concept. On goodwill, there is no depreciation after 1st April 2020. But suppose in 20 to 23, if goodwill is sold, whatever is the value on 1st April 2020, हाँ हमने goodwill खरीदा था, purchase किया था 15 से, depreciate करके 1st April 20 को value है 50 रुपए. Now 2021 no depreciation, 21-22 no. Keep it separate and let it be lying as it is. Goodwill को पड़े रहने दो 50 रुपए पे. In 22-23, suppose you have sold this goodwill for 30. Then 20 rupees is short-term capital loss. If you sell it in 60, then 10 rupees is short-term capital gain. That's all for the treatment of goodwill. No depreciation. Okay? Right. These are two beautiful sections. We can do it simultaneously. कभी-कभी इसमें से MCQ आता है. 33AB and ABA. Just in a very brief way, इसका सिर्फ 2 मिनट का gist याद रख लो क्या है. 33AB is tea, coffee, rubber development. You remember tea, coffee, rubber development is such a business, dear students. Partly they are agricultural and partly they are commercial. 60, 40, 25, 75 like this. Yes. So if you are doing tea, coffee business and whatever profits you are getting, if you are depositing it with NABARD, you all know NABARD is the bank, National Bank for Agricultural and Rural Development. Okay. If you are depositing within 6 months from the end of the year or before due date of filing the return, maximum deduction you can avail is 40% of the profit. Example, आपका net profit आ रहा है 500 रुपए, उसका 40% आ रहा है 200. 200 profit you deposit in NABARD account and then use this money for that activity only. Agricultural, tea, coffee, rubber, उसी के लिए use करो. Revenue, tractor खरीद लो, कुछ भी करो 200 lakhs का, तो your net profit will be 300 lakhs and you can get a deduction. How much deduction is allowed maximum? 40%. Withdrawal from account shall be in accordance with the purpose for the scheme, NABARD. Okay. And you have to purchase correct items. If it is non-eligible item, then whole amount will become taxable. अगर आपने NABARD में से पैसे withdraw किए और उसको कुछ shopping के लिए use कर लिया, घूमने के लिए use कर लिए, then that money will become taxable. Amount withdrawn will not be taxed if following cases. These are the exception to the rule. Even if you withdraw the amount, it's not going to be taxable. Withdrawal on account of death of the SSE. अब SSE नहीं है तो क्या NABARD क्या यूज करना है? प्रोप्राइटरशिप कंसर्न थी, मनी निकाल के उनके लीगल हेड्स को दे दो and it's not going to be taxable. Withdrawal on account of death of SSE, partition of HUF, liquidation of the company, dissolution of the partnership firm, closure of the business. Okay, right? So in these cases, even if you withdraw and don't use it, it's not going to be taxable. Say out of the money you have withdrawn from the NABARD account, you have purchased asset like tractor and all. So that asset you have to keep it for 8 years. You have to submit a report of a chartered accountant. Yes. And you can't use that money for other than your business purpose. Like ineligible asset means you can't use that money for purchasing plant and machinery for गेस्ट हाउस और ऑफिस के कोई यूज के लिए, ऑफिस अप्लायंस खरीदने के लिए, या प्लांट एंड मशीनरी जिसके ऊपर पूरा डिडक्शन है एंड ऑल. ओके, सो हाउ टू रिमेम्बर द जिस्ट फॉर दिस 33AB ये भी करते हैं. देखो मैंने दोनों का जिस्ट दिया. साइट रिस्टोरेशन फंड, you know, when you are into extracting of coal, minerals, all this petroleum products and all, along with agreement with the central government, then you can keep 20% of your profit into SBI, any of the branches of State Bank of India, you will get deduction. If you can remember just this printed gist one day before exam, it's going to be very clear to all of you. देखो क्या लिखा है. 33AB किसके लिए है? टी कॉफी रबर. ये किसके लिए है? साइट रिस्टोरेशन फंड. यू नो दो साइट्स, माइंस एंड ऑल. यहाँ पे कितना प्रॉफिट अलग रखना है? 40%. यहाँ 20. Here deposit with NABARD, here deposit with SBI. Withdrawal only for specified reason, otherwise it will become taxable. If you purchase asset, use it for 8 years and report of a CA is necessary. So you get deduction for tea, coffee, rubber development up to 40%. Here you get site restoration fund up to 20%. छोटा सा कॉन्सेप्ट है, एमसीक्यू में पूछ सकते हैं. नाउ साइंटिफिक रिसर्च को तो अच्छे से करना है. टोटल बिजनेस हेड का जो टोटल इनकम का प्रॉब्लम आता है ना, उसमें भी वन ऑफ द एडजस्टमेंट इट इज. सो राइट डाउन द बूस्टर नोट्स व्हिच आई एम डिक्टेटिंग फॉर साइंटिफिक रिसर्च. राइट डाउन. One second. संडे है ना, इनका भी मूड नहीं होता है. वन नोट बंद हो गया अपने आप. Yes. Write down, dear students, true and false MCQs, super duper important. Scientific expenses allowed under section 35. Yes, not 25, 35. साइंटिफिक एक्सपेंसेस कितने अलाउड है देखो. ओके, नंबर 1, रेवेन्यू एंड कैपिटल expenditure related to business. Please remember, those who have taken coaching earlier or in inter, they have studied some weighted deduction. No weighted deductions are there for scientific research. So revenue and capital expenditure related to business. Revenue and capital expense related to business. How much is it allowed? 100%. मतलब साइंटिफिक रिसर्च, R&D is an ongoing activity, research and development. नए प्रोडक्ट्स, पैटर्न्स, कॉम्बिनेशंस आते रहते हैं मार्केट में. yes or no? See, 2 minutes out of the class, but practical example around us. If you talk 30-35 years back, आपके घर में अगर गाड़ी है तो या एम्बेसडर है या फिएट है. Now it is like every 6 months the models are changing, and that too so much of category. Desire, until now they have come up with Maruti Suzuki 3rd or 4th model for Desire. So different models, different versions, petrol, diesel, this, that. So these are all R&D related activities. So related to business, it is also called as in-house. मतलब हमारे business से related revenue and capital expenditure is allowed. How much? 100%. ठीक है? Right. Next. When you allow capital expenditure See, there is no weightage deduction. 125, 150% पहले होता था, अब नहीं है. In capital expenditure, cost of land is not allowed. Are you writing with me? Right. Prior 3 years of commencement of business. You know, so many times we keep doing research for 2 years. After 2.5 years, we got the formula correct and a product is launched in market and you start the business. Startup shuru hua 20 to 23 mein, but research to 20 or 21 mein bhi chal raha tha na, right? Okay. So last 3 years, whatever expenditure you have incurred, okay, right? One second. Yeah. Last 3 years, whatever expenditure you have incurred, revenue and capital, all that will be allowed. Prior 3 years expenses, 100% allowed. Are you following? I started my business startup in 20 to 23, but in 21, 22, I have incurred expense related to this. Is it allowed? Yes. Then now, donation. Can we donate for scientific and statistical research activity outside? Yes. Donation to 100% research oriented company. You are giving donation to a company which is 100% doing only research activity. Will your expenditure be allowed? Yes. Ma'am, but now it is not completely related to business. Just write down. No, 2 seconds, I'll be back. Write down. By this way, you will learn it. Yes. All right. रुकावट के लिए खेद है. चलो लिखो. आपने लिखा ये? Scientific related expense are asked in MCQs. They are asked in addless problem, which we are going to do little later. Revenue and capital expenditure related to business, 100% allowed, except cost of the land, which is not allowed. Related to starting of the business, before that, if 3 years, if you have commenced the business before that 3 years, is the expenditure allowed? Answer is yes. Donation to 100% research oriented company, yes. अगर बाहर किसी को आपने donate किया है. After this, we have colleges, universities, and universities. Yes. Research association. Which are registered, you know, university के साथ affiliated है, registered है. For, very important here is, for scientific and statistical research. Scientific research या statistical research, 100% it is allowed. You know what is statistical research is like? Say we have Osmania University in Hyderabad and it is doing a research for how many girls are there in education versus boys, science versus commerce, some data they are collecting. Is this completely allowed? Yes. And next now in this category is, बहुत easy problem आते हैं इससे related. Next one is national laboratories. You know, national laboratories जो research से related activity करते हैं. So national laboratories, or you can say IIT institute. IIT institutes are there, no? Kanpur and Kharagpur and Bangalore and Ahmedabad and Mumbai and so on. Yes, if they are doing, it's allowed. And last one we can add is company engaged in specified business, जो research पे चलता है, जैसे pharmaceutical company. Pharmaceutical company जो drugs बनाते हैं, they do research and they come up with combinations. Okay, this is a cough syrup along with cough paracetamol is also there, like that. Or pharmaceutical company or telecommunication companies and so on. So these are companies which are engaged in specified businesses. Clear to all of you? Yes. Revenue and capital in capital expenditure prior 3 years is allowed. Donations outside are allowed. School, colleges, national laboratories are allowed, and companies. So these are all activities related to scientific research. Now how they are asking you 3 marks problem. हम करते हैं. ये देखो, यही आपको पढ़ाया अभी टेबल फॉर्म. I've made you write. 1 second. Revenue expense prior 3 years also. Capital expense. Universities, colleges allowed. Company which is 100% into R&D allowed. Research universities, object of research, statistical research allowed. National laboratory, IIT allowed. Company engaged in specified business, biotechnology, drugs, biogas and all they are making. Pharmaceutical companies, sub allowed. Okay? Now related to this very popular, these 2-3 problems are there. Out of that, I have given this problem. 16th we are doing now. 16th problem is there in your book. Let us do it orally here. और इसको क्या करना है एग्जाम में, payments made or allowed ऐसे particulars and amount you have to make, dear students. Payment to K Research Limited, payment to LMN College, payment to OPQ College. K and LMN are approved research institutes. Okay. So is this allowed 20 lakhs? Yes. LMN, is it allowed 15 lakhs? Yes. OPQ? No, it's not allowed because it's not a 100% approved research institute. National Laboratory? Yes. Machinery for in-house research? Yes. Salaries to staff for in-house research? Yes. Compute the deduction allowed. Okay. So in exam, particulars and amount and what is allowed you write outside. What is not allowed you write inside and put a dash outside. क्योंकि उसके लिए भी step wise marks है. This is all in lakhs. तो देख लो कितना scientific research expense allowed होगा. 20 plus 15 plus 8 plus 25 plus 12. 80 lakhs. Total 80 lakhs R&D expenses allowed as business expense. Very important point I want to tell you, dear students. If there is capital expenditure and if it is 100% allowed as research, are you going to claim depreciation on the same? Excuse me. Answer is no. Am I right? Are you all following? जैसे you have purchased a 60,000 laptop for research. लैपटॉप खरीदे आपने रिसर्च के लिए और 100% you have claimed it as expenditure 60,000. Again on 60,000 can you claim 40% depreciation? No, because 60,000 is fully allowed as scientific research expense. On same you cannot claim depreciation. And when this scientific research related to that asset is sold, it is treated as business income. ये देखो आपने लैपटॉप खरीदा, एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको बता रही हूँ. 2019 laptop purchased 60,000 and it's purchased for research, allowed as scientific research expense. साइंटिफिक रिसर्च के एक्सपेंसेस की तरह 60,000 अलाउड है. कब? 2019 में आपने खरीदा था तो तब अलाउ है. ओके, राइट. आफ्टर दैट, no depreciation. I want you to write. This will like remind one day before exam also. If you read these booster notes, you can use 2 ink pens, no, different color for maintaining. One for the notes what we are writing and one for the problem. एक concept एक problem हम कर रहे हैं. मैंने लिख के नहीं कराया scientific research क्योंकि बहुत easy है. So no depreciation. Suppose in 22-23 लैपटॉप दो, अब रिसर्च के लिए 4 साल यूज किया, फिर बेच दिया इसको. सोल्ड फॉर 15,000. 15,000 is treated as your business income क्योंकि पूरा all cost is allowed. So now if it is sold, it is treated as your business income. Tell me, is everything clear? चलिए आगे. Scientific research is over. Is the concept clear to all of you? Revenue allowed, capital allowed, donation outside allowed, specified company allowed, pharmaceutical, telecommunication, earlier 3 years also allowed. ठीक है? Preliminary expense we will do now. What do you mean by preliminary expense? इससे related next problem हम करेंगे. 17th problem है आपके material में, पर इसका concept यहाँ से पढ़ेंगे. Preliminary expense. Yeah. 35D. What do you mean by preliminary expense? Yes. Not only Indian companies, but all resident non-corporate, सबको allowed है. Yes. Preliminary expenses allowed for all. Okay. What do you mean by preliminary expense? Before the company started, you get the SIN number, company's identification number, DIN number, director's identification, prospectus print होता है, ROC का fees पे होता है, articles of association, memorandum, वो सब draft होते हैं. All these are preliminary expense. While the preliminary expenses are incurred, the company is not formed. This topic, take a pause. In accounts you have this profit prior incorporation. I purchased a running business from January 22, but I started my company in April 22. So those 3 months expense preliminary, will it be allowed? Yes. 1/5 every year for 5 years. But how much preliminary expense is allowed? Check. For non-corporate SSEs, 5% of the cost of the project. On the last day of the previous year, 5% of the cost of project. For corporate SSEs, maximum preliminary expense are allowed are 5% of the cost of the project or 5% of capital employed, whichever is beneficial to the company, मतलब whichever is highest. आपको समझ में आ रहा है आज हम क्या पढ़ रहे हैं? एक साइंटिफिक रिसर्च कॉन्सेप्ट, उसके प्रॉब्लम, प्रिलिमिनरी प्रॉब्लम, license problem. Like this, when I complete all the allowed, I can go and start add and less problems. ठीक है? Right. चलो साथ में करते हैं. Non-corporate SSEs. So for companies, how much preliminary expenses allowed? 5% of cost of project or 5% of capital employed, whichever is higher or beneficial to company. Qualifying amount of preliminary expenditure can be claimed as deduction over a period of 5 and audit report is necessary. ठीक है? Right. 1 second on dear student. Related to this problem is there. John Limited जो already 5 marks के लिए आ चुका है, तो हम इसको करेंगे अभी. 1 second. थैंक यू फॉर वेटिंग. चलो शुरू करते हैं. जॉन लिमिटेड. This problem is there in your material also as preliminary expenses, problem number 70. John Limited is existing Indian company which for which is like set up, and in connection with new unit following expenses are incurred: preparation of the project report, market survey, legal expense. So what are the preliminary expenses incurred? 11 lakhs. Is 11 lakhs allowed divided by 5, 1/5? No. Maximum allowed is this: 5% of the cost of the project or 5% of the capital employed. Utna hi allowed hai, and that allowed is allowed 1/5 every year. Are you with me? अगर लग रहा है मैं फास्ट जा रही हूं तो पॉज करो, प्रॉब्लम ध्यान से पढ़ो, आपका नोट्स ध्यान से पढ़ो. I'll make you write. Preliminary expenses से related. Scientific research, I have written the concept and problem number which I have solved. 1 second. कौन सा प्रॉब्लम हमने अभी सॉल्व किया? साइंटिफिक रिसर्च 17th वाला. 17. अब हम कर रहे हैं 18th. तो notes, if you can write with different pen, it would be good. Even I will do that now. जहां से शुरू वहां से करते हैं. Problem number 17th already solved related to this. Now I'm giving you the notes for preliminary expenses. Preliminary expenses. Number 1. Allowed for all the SSE. Preliminary expenses are allowed for all the SSEs. It's not for corporates, but allowed for all the SSE. Maximum. Maximum, how much is allowed? 5% of the cost of project or 5% of the capital employed, whichever is higher. Clear? 5% of cost of the project or 5% of capital employed, which is beneficial to company, तो ज़्यादा expense allowed होगा ना, whichever is higher. And this expense is allowed 1/5 every year for 5 years. Write down this, please. Preliminary expenses are allowed for all the SSEs, not only for corporate. 5% of the project, और corporate नहीं है तो 5% of project capital employed तो होगा ही नहीं, whichever is higher. और जो allowed है, that is also allowed 1/5 every year for 5 years. ठीक है? Right. For this, we are doing problem number 18th. प्रॉब्लम हमने पढ़ा, आपको देखना है, एक बार फिर देख लो. सॉरी, 17th. Cost of the project and capital employed is given, तो हम उसका क्या लेंगे? 5%. और actual preliminary expenses 11 lakhs है. ठीक है? See the presentation. I am solving the problem in the notebook now. Problem number 17. Preliminary expenses. पहले तो ये देखो कि preliminary expenses है कितने. Preparation of project report. Preparation of project report. Market survey expenses, market survey expenses, and legal expense. Legal expense. So total, what is preliminary expense? All the three. These are all preliminary expense. So can we say, dear students, ki 11 lakhs ka 1/5 allowed hai? No. How is it allowed? Allowed is a bit. 5% of the cost of project. आपको दिया है. Cost of project है 5% of 30 lakhs. 1,50,000. Take your time. If you have any doubt, ask me. I hope you all are writing booster notes with one ink and question answer with another ink. 40 lakhs. 5% of CE, capital employed. Capital employed है आपका 40 lakhs. और उसका 5% मतलब 2 lakh. 5% of the cost of project, 5% of capital employed. Now, which one will be allowed? Whichever is higher. So 1,50,000 or 2 lakh? 2 lakh is allowed. 1/5 every year, allowed every year. So total expenditure is 11 lakhs. In that 9 lakhs is disallowed. Preliminary expense. आपका total preliminary expense, whether you are a corporate or a non-corporate, is 11 lakhs. ये रहा. But out of that, how much deduction you will get? 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs. 9 lakh तो वहीं disallow हो गया. And 2 lakh is allowed not at a time, 1/5 every year, that is 40,000 every year for 5 years. Yes, absolutely right. Like your pre-construction interest. Pre-construction interest भी ऐसे ही allowed है, वैसे ही ये भी allow होगा. Nice, clear to all of you? Preliminary expense. देख लो एक बार. 5% of the cost of the project, 5% of the capital employed, whichever is higher. And that is allowed 1/5 every year. That is 40,000. Nice. That's all for preliminary expense. These are like section 30 से शुरू किया था, 35 तक पहुंच गए. 35D तो बहुत छोटा था. But of course it is asked in MCQs and problems also. Let us go to the next one. Next two are very small. You need not write. You can just have an idea here. Under 35AC, if the company or anyone, SSE, has made payment to a public sector company or to authority or association for carrying out eligible project. Now, what is eligible project? For promoting social and economic welfare or uplift of the poor. Okay. So for poor people under government's project, if your company is also working, then whatever expenditure you have actually incurred is allowed. But in 35AC, you need to satisfy conditions कि ये government का कोई scheme है जिसको आप support कर रहे हो for uplift of the poor. Same way, rural development. So if you're contributing to National Urban Poverty Eradication Fund, गांव में जाके आप कुछ project कर रहे हैं, related expenditure is fully allowed. ठीक है? Right. Now I'm doing the next one, which is definitely asked so many times in exam. Deduction for revenue and capital expenditure fully allowed for specified business. See, like one of the areas, if you can look around in India, we are developing tourism like anything. One of the biggest statue is erected, statue of Iron Man in Gujarat. And then recently, just 2 days back, one high level of statue, 104 feet or like that in Madhya Pradesh. We have in Hyderabad one big statue of Ramanuj sir. So like this, क्या हो रहा है ना, ये बहुत सारे टूरिस्ट एरियाज को डेवलप कर रहे हैं. So like this, if you are into some activity which is in this list, I'm going to read out, and related to that business, whether you have incurred revenue expense or you have incurred capital expenditure, 100% it is allowed. हाँ, अब उसका impact क्या होगा, and problems we will solve. First, understand what is 35AD, specified businesses. Okay, cold chain facility, agricultural produce, meat, poultry farm. Cold chain facility means warehouses where agricultural produce, tomatoes and onions and all these are stored. Setting up and operating warehousing facilities, big warehouses are made. Laying and operating natural gas or crude or petroleum oil. Mumbai already started so many places the gas is coming through pipeline. Building and operating 2-star and above hotel. So many places in India are declared as World Heritage Sites. Means these are like super places. For example, Taj Mahal, or in South, if you go Meenakshi Temple. So if you are setting up 2-star and above hotel over there, it will help to develop tourism in India. You will get 100% deduction for revenue and capital. अब मैम होटल बनाने का कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर, बिल्डिंग, फर्नीचर, अपहोल्स्ट्री, क्रॉकरी, बेड्स, अगर वो 100% अलाउड है, तो कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर इज अलाउड थोड़ा थोड़ा इन द फॉर्म ऑफ डेप्रिसिएशन. If you allow fully, obviously it's going to show loss. And this loss, because of 35AD, you can carry forward for indefinite period. When I teach you set off and carry forward ना, जब हेड्स हो जाएंगे तब करेंगे अच्छे से. ठीक है, चलो साथ में once again. No, ma'am, do we need to mug up this list? No, understand कि these are the specified business. इनसे related कोई भी revenue or capital expenditure. I'm not giving any break, dear students. We started at 11 and generally the class goes on till 1:30 every day. Today being Sunday, यही क्लास लेना हम लोग सबके लिए थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्टी है, बट फिर भी कमिटमेंट है, तो इसको 1 o'clock खत्म कर देंगे पूरे अलाउड डिसअलाउड लिस्ट के साथ. Keep a water bottle besides you. Be committed. See what students are saying you. They were also like you, but one thing they had was commitment. पानी की बॉटल, कैलकुलेटर, पेन सब लेके बैठना है, राइट? चलो. Cold chain facility, warehousing, crude oil, 2-star and above. Building new hospital with multiple, multi-speciality hospital with minimum 100 beds. Slum development. In Mumbai, so many slums are taken over and then they make tower, and whoever was having house in slum is given a flat. Developing house projects. Production of fertilizers in India. Setting up and operating inland container depots. पोर्ट्स डेवलप कर रहे हैं जहां डेपोज हैं, जहां कंटेनर्स आते हैं, ट्रेलर ट्रक पे लोड होते हैं, खाली होके वापस आते हैं. सो दैट्स अ बिजनेस, ICD, इनलैंड कंटेनर डेपो. वेयरहाउसिंग फैसिलिटी फॉर शुगर, beekeeping and production of honey and bees wax. Laying and operating slurry pipeline for transportation. Setting up and operating a semiconductor unit. Developing and operating and maintaining a new infrastructure facility. Each and every airport is renovated. Do you know? In Hyderabad, Shamshabad airport was having 1 wings. Now it is like a starfish, having 7, 8 wings, international departures and all direct. So like this, all the airports, earlier we had small airport in Begumpet. तो ये जो so many flyovers, steel bridges and metros and all these projects are covered up. ठीक है, 100% of expenditure is allowed. Capital, revenue incurred prior to commencement is also allowed, except land not allowed, goodwill not allowed, financial instruments not allowed. Business should not be new. not formed by splitting or reconstruction. Business should not be set up by transfer of old plant and machinery. नया बिजनेस होना चाहिए तो ही 100% 35AD में डिडक्शन इज अलाउड. चलो, ऑडिट रिपोर्ट इज रिक्वायर्ड. इफ यू आर क्लेमिंग 35AD में कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर, यू कांट सेल दैट असेट. 10 ट्रैक्टर खरीद लिए, 35AD में बता दिए, 4 दिन में बेच दिए. नो, नॉट अलाउड. If you purchase asset, you need to hold it for 8 years. Okay? And you can't claim 35AD, and for that same section 10AA. What is 10AA? SEZ में total turnover, export turnover, all that. वो नहीं मिलेगा. 35, due to 35AD, if there is a loss, super important for true and false and MCQ. This loss can be carried forward for indefinite period. 35AD में जो लॉस हो रहा है ना, indefinite period में आपको मिलेगा. If asset is used for purpose other than any doubt? So many of you are attending live, but today no messages in the live chat. All clear? समझ में आ रहा है हम कैसे पढ़ रहे हैं? If the asset is used for purpose other than business, then total amount of deduction under 35AD less. अगर 35AD नहीं लेते तो depreciation लेते. So whatever is the value today, that will be taken as income. Right. जैसे cost of the asset is 100. After 2 years you have sold. See, 100 rupees if it is allowed as expenditure, depreciation नहीं लेंगे. But अगर 100 allowed नहीं है तो 10 or 9 every year 10%. पहले year में 10, फिर 90 का 10% 9. तो what's the asset value? 81. समझ में आ रहा है आपको क्या बोल रहे हैं? After using for 2 years, if you sell it, it's going to be taxable. If asset is destroyed or discarded or transferred, sum received is chargeable under business income. After using for 10 years, if it is sold for 30 rupees, 30 rupees is business income, just like scientific research. अगर आपने उसको sell किया तो income is business income. And if you use it for any other purpose, scientific research you have used for 2 years. Now, if you use for other purpose, what will be the value of the asset? 81 rupees. And if you sell it outrightly, it will be taxable. So 35AD is clear. You are doing research related expense. Yes? Let us solve one question. Very easy questions are asked. 19, 20, I think 19th one I've given in your material here. Yera. 18th there. Hope Limited commenced the business of operating a 3-star hotel. Cost of the land nahi allowed. Cost of land, goodwill ye nahi allowed. Construction. Though we have started in 22, but 21, 22 में कुछ preliminary expense है, बिल्कुल allowed है. ये भी allowed है. Plant and machinery acquired in 22, 23, yes. Net profit before depreciation. See, 35AD में, if capital expenditure is allowed, related to that capital expenditure, depreciation will not be allowed. Same चीज पे आप दो claim नहीं कर सकते ना. Determine the amount eligible. So let us take up 35AD problem number 18. पहले कुछ notes लिखें 35AD से related. Let us write some running notes for 35AD. Specified businesses. Warehouse, housing project, 2-star hotel, etc. If you are doing these specified businesses, 100% of revenue and capital expenditure allowed. 100% आपका रेवेन्यू और कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर अलाउड है. No depreciation on capital expenditure allowed. When capital expenditure is fully allowed, on the same we can't claim depreciation. Correct or not? Because capital expenditure fully allowed, if there is loss, it can be carried forward for indefinite period. Mark it, very important for MCQ, they will frame. ये वाला पॉइंट मैं समझाऊं आपको. इफ कैपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर इज अलाउड, रेवेन्यू तो अलाउड है, कैपिटल भी अलाउड है, तो ऑब्वियसली पीएनएल अकाउंट इज बर्डन. Instead of depreciation, full capital expenditure is allowed, revenue is allowed. So there's going to be loss. Correct or no? There's going to be loss. And that loss, you can say it's going to be carried forward for indefinite period. See, dear students, normally the losses can be carried forward for 8 years. Kuch losses is speculative horse races and all 4 years. But this loss is going to be allowed for how many years? Indefinite period. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Right. Now, when asset sold, already you have allowed capital expenditure पूरा P&L में. तो when asset sold, whatever sales value, it will be treated as business income. सही बात है यानी. साइंटिफिक रिसर्च के लिए आपने 2 लैपटॉप खरीदे 2 लाख रुपए के, and you have claimed it 100%. After 5 years, if you sell it for 50,000, उसकी वैल्यू तो 0 हो गई थी because 100% you have claimed as expenditure. Now when you sell it, whatever sale value you get, it's treated as business income. And one very important point here is, if this asset is used for non-specified purpose. We told you to use asset only for specified business, but you are using it for non-specified purpose. These 2 points are like exclusive. इसके बिना भी 35D खत्म हो गया, लेकिन ये in depth करने के लिए. If this asset is used for non-specified purpose, then cost कितना लेंगे? Original cost minus depreciation till date. But ma'am, you said no depreciation. But that was when you have used it for specified purpose, 100 rupees asset. पर 2 साल के बाद अब आप बोल रहे नहीं, इसको कुछ और यूज करेंगे. तो if 100% expenditure is reverse, not allowed, at least depreciation should be allowed, no? Till date, original cost minus depreciation. Just now you got 100 was the original cost. Then say for 2 years, एक साल का depreciation 10 or 9. So 81 rupees will be the cost of the asset. Good. Clear hai? Check the points and we are solving problem. Sarathi material, all the problems are done 3 to 4. एक भी प्रॉब्लम उसके बियॉन्ड नहीं आएगा, चैलेंज है. बट अभी हम यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट एक ही पिकअप करके कर रहे हैं. लाइक लुक हियर, दिस इज माय सारथी मटेरियल. एग्जाम्पल्स हैं, बहुत एग्जाम्पल दिए हैं मैंने. more than 50 to 60 examples you will see in salary, business head, capital gain, and 19, 20, all the questions. So we will take up right now 19th question. Already I have discussed with you earlier year allowed है, cost of land नहीं allowed होगा, not even in scientific research, not even here. Problem number 18 in our printout. Telegram में जो भेजे हैं ना आपको printout वहीं से करा रही हूँ. Because this batch is free, dear students, nothing I'm missing out. That's why so many classes. Capital gain भी बड़ा है, time लगेगा. Deductions बड़ा है, it will take time. 18th problem, Hope Limited. एटीन प्रॉब्लम करते हैं नोटबुक में. Specified business expenses allowed under section 35AD. चलो क्या क्या allowed होगा? First they have given you cost of land, 60 lakhs, not allowed. It's not allowed. Then construction of building, बिल्कुल allowed है. Financial year 21-22, 30 lakhs. 22-23, 150 lakhs. Plant and machinery allowed है. Capital expenditure are allowed, 30. Total expenditure under section 35AD, specified business है. Excuse me. 2-star and above, 210 lakhs. What is their net profit they have given? Net profit before depreciation. Now, if अगर cost of building और पूरा 100% allowed है, तो depreciation तो नहीं allow होगा ना? यही वाला expense allowed under section 35 AD, 210 lakhs. Net loss carry forward for indefinite period. I want all of you to write for indefinite . 130 lakhs. Take your time, tell me all clear or not. Cost of land not allowed. Cost of building and all preliminary also सब allowed है 35D. But अगर building का पूरा cost 35D में allow है, तो you can't claim depreciation on the same. So what is the net profit? 80. What's the total of revenue and capital expense? 210. So 130 is the loss. This is going to be carried forward for indefinite period. Okay. Just see your watches very quickly. We are taking a break of 3 minutes and we will be back and then we will continue. अगर किसी का लिखना रह गया है तो तब तक लिख सकते हैं. Yeah, in half an hour more, I'll complete all the expenditures list. All right, are you all also back after a break? शुरू करते हैं, continue करते हैं. It requires patience to learn like this, business head. Okay, so let us take up the gist until now what we have done in today's class. Depreciation and all is allowed. 32. 33 में routine, all urban related, poverty eradication fund, tea, coffee, rubber development, all that is allowed. Scientific research expenses allowed. Subject to limit, cost of land and all is not allowed. 35D में specified businesses we have seen. Okay, which are allowed. Now what I'm going to take up the topic, that is telecommunication. It might take 5 to 10 minutes, but this is important only for CMA exam. CA students, they don't have this. It's a part of Income Tax Act, but in CA exam, they have not included this part. So just 5 minutes I'll complete. It's a very simple topic, and that is related to license. You know, whenever you take license for say 10 years, excuse me, you can apportion the expense for 10 years. Yeah. But in between, if you sell the license, okay, you will get income. Now, how this is taxed, it's very simple. And I've given you a very nice example. This example I have not printed in the material which I have given. So I'm explaining in my way. Pause this video and then take it down. CMA students have this. Any amount actually paid for obtaining a license, it will be allowed as deduction over equal installments. So if you have paid 1 lakh rupees for getting telecommunication license in say Telangana area, and for 10 years, how much you will put every year? 10,000. So any expenditure for which deduction is allowed under 35D shall not qualify. मतलब on same depreciation will not be allowed. Now, मैम ये तो कुछ फॉर्मूला लग रहे हैं, कोई फॉर्मूला नहीं है, लॉजिक है. देखो, 100 rupees you have paid for 10 years. How much deduction you will allow? 10. What is unallowed amount until now? 90. ठीक है? Now, after 3 years, license is sold for 20. After 3 years, license कितने में लिया था? 100. 3 years तक 10, 10, 10 is allowed. 30. So how much is license for now? 70. And it is sold for how much? 20. Yes. 70 rupees का license 20 में आपने बेच दिया. देखो, you have taken license for 100 rupees. You used it for 3 years. 30. What is license value? 70. You have this 70, you have sold it in the third year for 20. So 50 rupees is the business loss. Suppose if the license is sold in fourth year for 25. Yeah, fourth year में ही बेच दिया. तो 3 years तक 100 minus 10, 10, 10, 30, 70. In the fourth year, license, part license, not whole, part license. For example, you have got a license for Telangana and Andhra, तो Telangana का बेच दिया आपने. So 3 years are over. Fourth year में part license is sold for 25. Now what is the value? 45. But still you have license for remaining 7 years. So every year how much you will apportion? 6.43. These are like superb handmade examples, and it's a challenge after this. If you attempt MCQ for licensed telecommunication, you will be able to do it. समझ में आ रहा है आप सबको? If part of the license is sold, what's the value? 70 now. 25 minus करो तो 45 divide by 7. After 3 years, if it is sold for 80, पूरे का पूरा license, 70 का आपने 80 में सेल किया, तो 10 rupees क्या होगा आपका? बिजनेस इनकम. Yes. After 3 years, if the license is sold for 120, superb. License is sold over and above the original cost. Original cost कितना था? 100. उसके भी ऊपर 120. So whatever is the profit above the original cost, 20 rupees will be treated as what? Capital gain. और 100 to 70 ये आपका क्या होगा? बिजनेस इनकम. आपको समझ में आ रहा है? 100 में लाइसेंस लिया, 3 साल यूज किया, 70, इसको 120 में बेचा, तो व्हाट्स द टोटल प्रॉफिट? 50. But in 50, 20 is the profit above the original cost. This is capital gain. And 30 is your business income, revenue profit. Take your time. Take these 5 examples. Any doubt? Lot of efforts are really put up in making up these classes. Make sure you share it with all your friends who are looking forward for quality good coaching. तो ये पूरे notes आप लिखो एक बार के लिए. तो see, I can again, I'm saying everything I can provide spoon feeding, all PDF material chapter wise. सारथी का 300 pages का material पूरा मैं PDF दे सकती हूँ. बस वो प्रिंट ही प्रिंट रह जाते हैं, दिमाग में सिंक नहीं होता कुछ, है ना? चलो, shall I repeat everything once again? ये तो फॉर्मेट है, मतलब फॉर्मूलाज है, पर फॉर्मूला लर्न करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है, लॉजिक से करना है एग्जाम में। 100 rupees license for 10 years, 10 rupees you put. After 3 years, what's the value? 70. You sold it for 20, 50 income. After 3 years, you sold it for 80. 10 is income. After 3 years, you sold it for 120. So 50 rupees is the profit, 70 ka 120. And whatever you get beyond your 100, yes, that is your capital gain. And 100 और 70 में जो मिल रहा है 30, वो आपका business income है. हाँ, this one is asked in exam. If part of the license is sold in 4th year for 25, 70 minus 25, still 45 part license is there, divide by 7, you need to amortize. Related to this problems are there, अभी बहुत easy है. अगर आप 28 problem अभी orally देखना है, देखो 100 crores में आपने लाइसेंस लिया है फॉर ऑपरेटिंग टेलीकम्युनिकेशन इन हरियाणा एंड पंजाब. ओके, एंड लाइसेंस इज फॉर 10 years. In September 21 you have paid. In December 22 the company transfers part of the license. मतलब 10 साल के लिए लिया था तो आपका एक तो 10 तो चला गया, now 90. Now here part of the license is sold for 27. Still remaining part is continuing, no? 90 minus 27 is how much? 63. Part of the area is sold for 27. But abhi bhi 63 is going to continue for 9 years. So 7 every year you will put up. Clear? Right. Agricultural extension project, skill development project, if you're working as a company, 100% expenditure is allowed. Next, very beautiful, very small is VRS. What is VRS, dear student? Voluntary retirement expense. When the employees leave the organization before their age of retirement is 60, but 57 mein hi voluntarily they are saying we want to go. So we make them lump sum retirement payment. That payment is allowed 1/5 every year for 5 years, like your preliminary expense. Now, 35 tak khatam ho gaye. 36 is general deduction. They say all the expenditure which is related to business is fully allowed, like insurance premium paid by any mode other than cash. So can you pay insurance premium for the health of the employees? You know, group insurance pay करते हैं, बिल्कुल allowed है, लेकिन cash में pay नहीं करना है. Can you pay bonus to employees? Yes. Can you pay interest on loan which is borrowed for business purpose? Yes. Can you contribute as an employer to RPF, recognized provident fund में 12% डालते हैं ना? I am paying you salary 100, 12 rupees I am putting in RPF. So is this allowed as business expenditure? Yes. Superannuation fund, approved gratuity fund, yes, all is allowed. But very important is that if it is recognized provident fund, you have to pay it not before due date of filing the return, but by 15th of the next month. PF की date क्या है? 15th of the next month. उसके पहले if you pay, it is allowed as business expense. ESICM all, yes, it is allowed. There's a latest amendment here that जो भी PF में पैसे डालते हैं, employer's contribution to PF can be paid before due date of filing the return. 43B में. What is 43B, dear students? Any expenditure which is due but not paid in March and outstanding should be at least paid before due date of filing the return. March 23 में आपके पास पैसे नहीं थे तो expense to outstanding, salary to outstanding. But अभी तो September 23 चल रहा है, you are doing tax audit, तब तक तो pay कर दो. That is 43B. But employees contribution, employee का भी तो आप काट को. आप employee को बोलते हैं ना 100 आपकी salary है, 12 में PF में डाल के आपको 80 दे रही. This 12 rupees you have to put in PF by 15th of the next month, not 43B. I'll repeat, you all read. It's a wonderful amendment. लाइसेंस से रिलेटेड मैंने कुछ भी लिखाया नहीं है आपको रनिंग नोट्स. You will have to write it, dear students. Or you can message us in Telegram or WhatsApp group and order the Sarathi book. Or if you feel no business at, even if there are 8 videos, I want to go for regular lectures at a very reasonable price I'm giving along with the material and courier charges, जो लगता ही है. ठीक है? 70, around 70 plus videos are there. Regular batch, you will get all those open, and you can, once you make payment, you can have laptop access also for the app. चलो. नहीं पूरा फ्री में पढ़ना है तो पढ़ो, नो प्रॉब्लम. बुक ऑर्डर कर दो सिर्फ, तो आपके पास मटेरियल होगा पूरा. चलो. I'll repeat this. Employer putting money for employee in the RPF. If he is not paid by March, he can pay before due date of filing the return. But employee's contribution, employer should pay by 15th of next month. Otherwise, it's not allowed as expenditure. चलो बेड डेट से रिलेटेड करते हैं. यू ऑल नो व्हाट इज बेड डेट. पार्टी टू सेल्स किया, पार्टी पैसे दे नहीं रही, बैंक टू पार्टी करना नहीं है, तो बेड डेट. बेड डेट इज अलाउड एज एक्सपेंडिचर subject to condition that you have recorded the sales, you have taken enough expert legal notice, भेज के कोई फायदा नहीं है, and all that. This is already printed in your material also. Bed debt earlier allowed. हमने बेड डेट अलाउ कर लिए बिजनेस एक्सपेंडिचर के. Later on recovered. After 2-3 years, you met me somewhere and you said, ma'am, that time I was not having money, I was not doing good. Post-COVID, now I'm doing good. Take this. So after 3 years, if I receive the income from bed debt, which I had incurred 2-3 years back, and that time I may not be doing that business. Still, is this bed debt recovered fully taxable? Yes, 100%. Bed debt disallowed earlier. Bed debt तभी disallow हो गया था. You know, in what is allowed, disallowed, I'll clear with example. In P&L account, say bed debt debited in books and bed debt was allowed. 1000 rupees हमने bed debt debit किया और department ने allow किया. After 3 years, if the bed debt is recovered 1000, is it taxable as business income? Yes. 1000 we debited, not allowed. That time only not allowed. 2018 में 1000 rupees we have put bed debt, they said no, not allowed. So that time only disallowed, added back. So I've already paid tax. Are you getting? In 2018, I have debited bed debt 1000, and 1000 bed debt I have debited. They said no, it's not allowed. They didn't allow, so they added back. I have paid tax there itself. Now if I have recovered, see there only it was disallowed, so I have paid tax. Now if I recovered, is it my business income? No, it's not taxable because तब भी disallow हुआ था, तब भी you have paid tax. Clear? Now 1000 bed debt you have debited in books, they allowed 800. How much is disallowed? 200. हमने 1000 डाले, डिपार्टमेंट ने बोला नहीं पूरा तो नहीं, 800 ही अलाउ करेंगे, तो 200 that time only they have added back. Now I have recovered 800. Now 800 was allowed and 800 is recovered, but that time only 200 was disallowed. No, I have paid. So this recovered में से पहले जो disallowed है वो set off करना है. 200 that time only disallowed. That time only it became taxable. Followed. Now I have recovered 800. Taxable will be how much? 600. Same way. Now if I recover 500, 200 तो तभी disallow हुआ था, taxable था, अब 300. Now I have recovered 900. 200 तब भी डिसअलाउ हुआ था, हमने तो 1000 किए थे, 800 ही अलाउ, तो 200 तो तब भी डिसअलाउ हो गया था. Assume that whatever is recovered, in that you can deduct disallowed, and only 700 will be taxable. Okay, right? Now here 800 was only allowed, 1000 we debited, 200 disallowed, recovered is only 150. So already disallowed, you have already paid tax 200, but you have recovered only 150. 50 rupees आपने तभी disallow किया और recover भी नहीं हुआ. So now can you allow that 50? Are you getting? 200 is disallowed, you have already paid tax, but you have recovered only 150. So 50 more you can debit. Okay, if you don't understand anything, just remember bad debt allowed earlier, now recovered business income. Bad debt disallowed, तभी allow नहीं था, तभी taxable हो गया. Now recovered, not income, बिल्कुल भी income नहीं. ठीक है? Right. Now next what I am taking, this is which section we all are doing, dear students? Section 36. I know a lot of variety we are doing. Let us complete this so tomorrow we can start and finish with all the addless problems. Tomorrow is the third and last class for business head. Okay? Chalo. Next what I'm taking up is a very small beautiful bit but asked in MCQs. You can check so many exams they have asked as MCQ. Both. 7th point also, 8th point also. Both. Okay. 7th one is all the expenditure by a company. Only for company, family planning related expenses allowed. If it is revenue, fully allowed. If it is capital, 1/5 is allowed every year. Example, revenue expenditure incurred 500, fully allowed. Capital expenditure incurred 2,500. 1/5 allowed for 500. Are you all with me? Simple one-liners. These are, dear students. Family planning expenditure is allowed for company. Revenue fully allowed. Capital 1/5 allowed. Now, GST and custom duty allowed as business expense. Business से related GST pay करते हैं ना, output input, and custom duty allowed as business expense. So sometimes you get GST refund, custom duty refund. Is it your business income? Answer is yes. Interest on GST is allowed. Sometimes if you pay GST late, you have to pay with interest. It's allowed. Penalties are not allowed. Why do you have to pay penalty, dear students? Yes, penalties are paid when you are doing some expenditure. Penalties are paid जब आप कुछ गलत कर रहे हो. तो एक तो गलती करो and then you are saying allow penalty as expense. Will they allow? Answer is no. So GST is allowed, custom duty is allowed, interest on arrears of GST is allowed, penalty is not allowed. GST is allowed as expense, then refund of GST is business income. Income tax is not allowed as business expense. Ma'am, ye kya baat hai? Income tax is not allowed as business expense because you pay income tax on salary, house property, business head, capital gain, other. How can you claim all the income tax as business expense? Not allowed. Income tax is not allowed as business expense. Pay attention. Then income tax refund. Is it your business income? No. तो आपको ना P&L account credit side दिया रहता है. Income tax refund 50 rupees. Is it your business income? No. Remove. Add list I'll teach. We have come to an end of allowed list. थोड़ा सा disallowed list कर रहे हैं हम अभी और कल हम करेंगे add list के problem. Yeah, today being Sunday, we'll just close in 10 more minutes. Sunday ke din we are able to take classes. That is gratitude to all the families and gratitude to this technology, right or not? Can I make you write this as notes? ये बड़ा important है. Interest on refund of income tax. You know, when you get refund of income tax, you get interest. So that is always taxable under which head? Income from other sources. इनकम टैक्स को कोई लेना देना ही नहीं है बिजनेस हेड के साथ. इनकम टैक्स यू आर नॉट पेइंग अलोन ऑन बिजनेस इनकम. आई मेक यू राइट दिस इन द नोटबुक एज रनिंग नोट्स और इसको आप ध्यान से लिखना. पहले आप एक काम करो ना, यू ऑल डू वन थिंग कि एक तो लाइसेंस आप कर लो पहले, लाइसेंस फॉर CMA स्टूडेंट्स. CA स्टूडेंट्स डोंट हैव. So write down the notes in your book. इसके नीचे आप लिख लेना. Done? Yes. I'm giving you some very nice small pointers. If you check, have you checked some of the reels? 5 important points for ICDS, 5 important points for additional depreciation, 5 points related to tax. Now see. GST, custom duty. Write down. Allowed as business expense. तो फिर refund of custom duty and GST business income. GST custom duty is allowed as business expense, so refund is business income. Income tax not allowed as business expense. Income tax is not allowed as business expense. So refund of income tax, not business income. Clear? Penalty of GST, income tax, not allowed. कहीं पे भी आप पेनल्टी क्यों पे कर रहे हैं? Why you are playing? Yes. Penalty of GST, income tax. Why you are paying? Because you are doing some mistake. So should it be allowed as business expense? Answer is no. Yeah, but only interest on GST is allowed. See, these are 3-4 tidbits. If you repeat it 2 to 3 times, it's going to be very, very clear. And that's why repetition is the key. That's why for these, you will find 1 minute reels. Advance money forfeited, capital gain का एक टॉपिक है. तो इसे orally एग्जाम में स्ट्राइक होना है ना आपको. Yes. Once again, GST custom duty allowed as business expense. So whenever you get refund of GST, is it your business income? Yes. So should you remove it while doing ad less? No, क्योंकि रहने तो business income है. Income tax, is it allowed as expense? No. So if you have debited, you need to remove it, add back. So income tax refund, is it your business income? No. Income tax is not allowed as expense, refund is not income. Penalties, anywhere you pay GST, custom duty, income tax, penalties are not allowed. Yes, but interest on late payment of GST is allowed. And this allowed, disallowed will be very clear when I give you the add less concept tomorrow morning with problems. Okay? So note, I hope you all have taken this. Next, we are coming to 36K list mein. STT. What is STT? Security transaction tax, which we pay at stock exchange while purchasing and selling the shares. So STT is allowed as business expense. STT is allowed as business expense provided you take share trading as your stock in trade. शेयर खरीदना बेचना आपका बिजनेस है. ओपनिंग स्टॉक ऑफ शेयर्स, परचेजेस, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक, then STT is allowed. If you take shares as your capital asset, next chapter में भी आएगा shares, then STT is not allowed. Mark it, very important for true and false MCQs. In fact, true and false में पूछ चुके हैं. देखो, STT paid by SSC during previous year in respect of taxable securities, it will be allowed. This deduction is available only if securities are held as stock in trade in business head. If you take shares as your capital asset, STT is not allowed. Same for CTT. What is the full form? Yes? No, STT is legally taken by stock exchange. Just like when you purchase the shares, you pay brokerage, you pay stamp duty, and you pay STT. So there's nothing illegal about it. And then stock exchange gives it in the form of tax. So STT is very well allowed as business expenditure, provided you take share trading as your business income. If you take it under capital asset, STT is not allowed. So it's not banned, Sahil. Clear your doubt? Chalo, next. CTT. Is it allowed as business? See, CTT you may be having doubt ki ma'am ye to satta ye kaise allowed hai. Now there are few items like jewelry, gold, crude oil wherein commodity transaction tax lag ke legally inka trading hota hai. Okay? Legally the trading is done. So where it is legally allowed, derivatives market hai na. If I start teaching derivatives, I will divert. So derivatives is the market, and in derivatives, legally commodity tradings are done. Crude oil, petroleum, gold. So in those commodity market, whatever is purchased and sold as business, on that you pay CTT, commodity transaction tax, and it's allowed as business expense. Bilkul. Okay? Let us take the concept of zero coupon bonds. Beautiful. Naam se pata chal raha hai. What do you mean by bonds? James Bond? No. Bonds is a hi-fi name of debentures. On shares, you get dividend. On bonds or debentures, you get interest twice a year. Come interest, ext interest. हम पढ़ते हैं ना? Right? Now, whoever is holding the debentures, he get coupons. You know how you go to seminar, you present the coupon, you get breakfast. Another coupon, they give you seminar kit. Another coupon, you get lunch. So like this, when you purchase debentures for a lock-in period of 5 years, you get 10 coupons, interest coupons. Whoever presents the coupon, he will get the interest. But zero coupon bonds or practically deep discount bonds, these are the bonds issued instead of face value less value, और इसमें आपको कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं आता. देखो मैंने एग्जांपल बोल्ड में दिया है सारथी मटेरियल में. देखो, bonds which are issued by IDBI, what is the face value? 100. But these bonds are issued at 82, deep discount bonds. Yes, 100 rupees bond is issued at 82. On maturity, the bank will give you 100. Meanwhile, you will not get any interest. That's why zero coupon bonds, deep discount bonds. Now listen, all of you. Bonds are issued by IDBI at 82. On maturity, IDBI is giving you 100. Is IDBI incurring 18 rupees expense? Say this discount is for 6 years. So 3 rupees, can they debit in their PNL account? Who? Bond issuing company or bank. Bada easy hai. Take this example. Is this clear to all of you or not? I've given you many running notes today, but it's not possible because business head is too vast. तो ये छोटे छोटे टॉपिक तो या फिर आप पॉज करके वन लाइनर एग्जांपल लिख लो. Deep discount bonds instead of 100 are issued at 82 by bank, and bank is saying 82 रुपए आपने हमको दिए ना, भूल जाओ, 6 साल जाओ, bye bye. After 6 years we'll give you 100. So is 18 rupees expenditure for bank? Yes. Can they say divided by 6 years if they have given 6 years के लिए, and 3 rupees they can put as expenditure. ठीक है? ओके, ये सब आप स्किप कर सकते हैं. एम्प्लॉयर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटिंग टू पेंशन स्कीम, दिस आई टीच यू इन 80 CCD. वहां पे क्लियर हो जाएगा. अप टू 10% ऑफ द सैलरी एम्प्लॉयर कैन कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट. नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम्स और ये सब होते हैं ना 80 CCD 1 2. तो एम्प्लॉयर कैन कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट हाउ मच? 10% ऑफ सैलरी. व्हाट इज डेफिनेशन ऑफ सैलरी? बेसिक DA. बस, salary includes DA. Now see, Roy Limited contributes 20% of the basic and DA is 40%. So will you allow all? No. How much is legally allowed? 10% of the basic and DA. Even if they have contributed 20% of basic. ये सेम क्वेश्चन MCQ में पूछ चुके हैं. इसको अभी करते हैं. प्रॉब्लम नंबर 21 आपको अभी करवाएंगे. Roy Limited has contributed 20% of basic and DA is 40% of the basic and it forms part of the salary. Compute the deduction if the basic salary is 10 lakhs. Okay? कितना अलाउड होगा? डेटा यहीं लिखा है तो मैं यहीं कर रही हूँ. बेसिक कितना है डियर स्टूडेंट? 10 लाख. डीए कितना है? 40%, 4 लाख. टोटल सैलरी कितनी हो गई? 14 lakhs. आपने डीए कितना कंट्रीब्यूट किया है? रॉय ने. कंपनी ने कितना कंट्रीब्यूट किया है? 10 lakhs का 20%. कंपनी हैज कंट्रीब्यूटेड 10 lakhs का 20%, 2 lakh. बट अलाउड कितना है? कंपनी हैज कंट्रीब्यूटेड 20% ऑन बेसिक. उनकी मर्जी, बेसिक के करें या बेसिक या डीए पे करें. अलाउड कितना है? बेसिक और डीए 14 lakhs का 10%, 1,40,000. 60,000 is disallowed. I want you to pause. I'm here only. Write down this example. Score 2 out of 2 marks in MCQs. And I'll repeat the same when I do deductions. But from business head, this is very important. I want all of you to write this example in your notebook. Shall I repeat once and then you will write? Basic salary is 10 lakhs. DA in terms of employment, मतलब जो retirement के लिए लेना है वो 4 lakh, 14 lakhs. Company has contributed 20% of basic, 10 lakh का 20%, 2 lakh. But allowed कितना है as per Income Tax Act? How much you can put in the pension fund for your employees? Basic and DA 14 lakhs का 10%, 140. How much company has put? 2 lakh. How much will be disallowed? 60,000. Noted. I want you all to put a message in the chat box. I know I'm taking like chote बहुत concepts. I will revise it 10 minutes tomorrow and then we will continue with add less problem. Add less problem in CA exam are asked for 14 marks, but along with capital gain deductions तो वो हम बाद में करेंगे total income के साथ. But कुछ problem add less के कल करेंगे. Tomorrow whole class for business head I will be stressing a lot on 44 sections. 44 AA, maintain books, audit करो, 44 AD and वो सब. And I will take assessment of partnership form भी कल सब करेंगे. Thank you so much that you all are writing everything and following. Thank you so much. Thank you. Once the video is completed and then if you can comment, it is staying. But anyhow, good. Acha, very important is if you have missed, I have spent more than 45 minutes time for depreciation 32. उसको अच्छे से करो, अलग से problem आता है. Acha, all of you are attending the classes every day. Sahil, Manish, Harshita. Can you write that is it all for CA exam or CMA? I'm going to teach for CA CMA both November, December attempt, but at least I'll come to know. Like license, what I taught now is only for CMA students. Chalo. Abhi ek beautiful latest amendment, and before that, Let us complete the last part of section 36. Mark to market loss or expected loss as per ICDS are allowed. Not allowed mean they are allowed. Matlab, if they are real, they are allowed. Mark to market loss are otherwise not allowed means just at I have purchased Reliance Industries at 88 rupees. March mein rate 82 ho gaya. So shall I book 6 rupees loss? No, dear students. No. Why? Why you will not incur this? Yes, mark to market loss. Because though 86 के शेयर की वैल्यू 31st मार्च को 82 हो गई है, I have not I'm not willing to sell it, so they are not allowed. Chalo. Section 37 is last section of allowed series, general section. It says all the expenditure related to business which is not covered in 30 to 36 is allowed. Okay, I am really sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. If it is Harshit Jain, great to know that. Chalo. So it should be allowed. Okay, as under section 37, provided it is satisfying 3 conditions. What are they? It should be expenditure in the nature of, it should not be 30 to 36 mein वैसे ही allowed है, but other than this, it should not be capital, it should not be personal, and it should be expended or spent wholly and exclusively for business purpose. Then that expenditure is allowed. But in this, can I say, ma'am, my business is such that I need to do bribing and allow me bribing as expense? No. So many pharmaceutical companies are giving बहुत over benefit as freebies to the medical practitioners, doctors, that no, recommend only our medicine. Is it allowed? No. So the latest amendment this year is expenditure should not have been incurred for any purpose which is an offense or prohibited by law. आई नो मैम ये एक्सपेंस इलीगल है, बट मेरे बिजनेस में ये ब्राइबिंग करना पड़ता है, मेरा काम ही माइंस का है, मेरा काम ही है, मुझे अलाउ करो. नो, नॉट अलाउ. If it is providing benefit or perquisite, whether or not carrying on business of such benefit is in violation of the law, not allowed. Like bribe, hafta, freebies to medical practitioner. सिर्फ ये लिस्ट ऐड याद कर लो एमसीक्यूज के लिए. मैम यू सेड ना रिलेटेड टू बिजनेस एक्सपेंडिचर अलाउड है, पर्सनल नहीं होना चाहिए तो पर्सनल नहीं है, कैपिटल नहीं है, एंड आई हैव स्पेंट दिस मनी फॉर बिजनेस. नाउ इवन इफ दिस इज इलीगल, हफ्ता, ब्राइबिंग और freebies to medical practitioners, please allow it. Yes, should it be allowed? Answer is no. Indian Medical Association has clearly said कि if more than normally ठीक है जो samples और देते हैं, beyond that, if lot of facilities that okay, resort passes and this and that, if they're given to doctors by pharmaceutical companies as freebies, it's not allowed. Okay, right. Company related some expenses are allowed, like debentures, bonus issue, discount on shares and all. They are allowed. एक बात याद रखना, company related expenses are allowed if there is no change in the capital. But suppose if you call ki authorized capital बढ़ाना है आपको, yeah, you want to increase the authorized capital, then should it be allowed as expense? Answer is no. I hope you are getting. Authorized capital is the maximum capital you can issue. So suppose your issued capital is 400 lakhs, authorized is 400. Now you want to issue more 100 lakh ke shares. So you have to increase the authorized capital. For that, you have to pay fees to ROC. Will it be allowed? No, it's not allowed. CSR expense, this you study in law. You know, every company which is making huge profit in India, they have certain corporate social responsibilities. Yeah. So they go to school, colleges, organize drawing competition, ye wo karte hain. Is it allowed as their expenditure? No. You have earned 500 crores profit. अब इसमें से आप CSR के लिए 50 करोड़ स्पेंड भी कर रहे हो ना, ये आपका ड्रॉइंग्स है. See, if I earn good 10% of my income, I donate. Can I say donation is my expense? No. It's not expenditure related to, because I've earned huge 500 crores, 50 crores I am donating. If that donation is to authorized charitable trust and all, 80G you will get deduction, but not here. Gist is CSR expense are not allowed as business expense. Income tax, STT and all is not allowed. Fees paid to registrar for enhancement of capital not allowed. ये सब कहीं ना कहीं MCQs में आता है. Oh, this is beautiful. Can I give advertisement in political party, souvenir, tract, pamphlet? One side ABC Limited, my company's name, and another side BJP, Congress? No. But ma'am, I want to encourage registered political party, give them donation, claim 80 GGBC. You have deductions. You can't claim it as business expenditure. Acha, tell me one thing, dear student. Routine advertisement expense are allowed or not? I want you all to answer. If on 31st December, I am giving 100 diaries to all my datas with the name of my company, LIC वाले कैसे हमको डायरी देते हैं December में. Is this their business expenditure? I want you all to tell me yes or no in the chat box. Quick, quick, quick. Thank you so much for showing that commitment and attending live classes on Sunday. That's why I'm motivated to complete it on time and not a single concept I'll skip. आपको समझ में आया मैंने क्या पूछा? Routine advertisement. I am sponsoring IPL or anything and I'm giving Bonvita, my company's ad and all. Is it allowed? Answer is yes. But advertisement with the political party, not allowed. Oh, this one is still beautiful. These are all very important for problem solving. Problem solving. If you transfer your profit to reserve, it's like taking the profit from one pocket and transferring it to dividend equalization reserve, investment reserve. It's not an expenditure, not allowed. Provisions. What are provisions? Provision for gratuity, provision for this. Expenditure which we are just estimating. It's not actual expenditure. जब incur होगा ना तब claim करना. Provisions for gratuity. No provisions are allowed as business expenditure because you are just making a provision for future repairs, provision for gratuity, provision for this, not allowed. अच्छा, एडवर्टीजमेंट के लिए कुछ लोग अलग अलग आंसर दे रहे हैं, तो सबके लिए एडवर्टीजमेंट एक्सपेंस रिलेटेड टू बिजनेस अलाउड. लीगल एक्सपेंस एडवोकेट को सैलरी दे रहे हैं रिलेटेड टू बिजनेस अलाउड, बिल्कुल अलाउड. What is not allowed, dear students? Transfer to reserves. Provisions. These are nice past exam one-liner problems. I have given this in the printed sheet also. आप करके आओ. ये रहा देखो, बेड डेट मैंने आपको लिखा दिया. Okay. I didn't print it. I thought I printed it. ठीक है. Tomorrow I will discuss and take these. These are nice one-liner questions. Next. Expenses disallowed if TDS is not deducted. See, whenever I need to make payment related to business and I need to deduct TDS तो मुझे काटना है ना. If I miss deducting TDS, oh sorry, I paid you commission, Harshit, and I miss deducting 1% TDS, I paid you full commission. That expenditure will not be allowed. इसका बस सिर्फ ये gist याद रख लो, आपके लिए enough है. If any expenditure is paid outside India without TDS, 100% of that expenditure is disallowed. I paid royalty to someone in London and I missed deducting the TDS. Pura business expenditure disallowed. Agle saal deducted and claimed. If interest is paid 1,000 in India without TDS, okay, right? Then 30% is disallowed. Outside, 100% is disallowed. And here, 30% is disallowed. Okay, right. More disallowed expenditures are there for relative and cash payment above 10,000. We will take it tomorrow. I saw all your messages. और ऐसे रेस्टलेसनेस के साथ नहीं पढ़ना है. You all listen to the pearls of wisdom and see how much passion they are having. वो भी आपके जैसे ही थे, लेकिन वो लर्न करते करते वो एक्साइटमेंट आ गया. Whether it is costing, whether it is income tax, they have got that excitement to learn the subject, and then automatically you enjoy. तो learn भी फटाफट होता है और एग्जाम में भी बहुत अच्छा रहते हैं. So tomorrow we will continue the disallowed chota sa list hai, and then we will do the problems of business head tomorrow. Half the class. Remaining half the class is for back sections. Don't ignore it. Tax audit limit 44AD. वो है ना 44A. What is that? Vehicles वाला problem 2-3 बार आ चुका है 4-4 marks के लिए. We'll do that. Okay. Thank you so much for making it on Sunday. Keep commenting once the video is uploaded so that those comments will stay. And if you feel my efforts are helpful to all of you, share this. Help me live my mission of sharing this conceptual knowledge across India. I have taught from years, but now I have understood one thing, that छोटा छोटा नहीं करना है, इसको इंडिया लेवल पे पहुंचाना है, and results are going to come. If you trust me, if you're taking down the notes, if you are tomorrow solving adless problem with me, you will be able to crack exam with confidence. ठीक है? Sometimes some teachings are underrated, I feel, because we don't do those gimmicks. Of course, I also joke a lot. I give you practical. मैंने अभी बोला जेम्स बॉन्ड नहीं है, बॉन्ड्स का मतलब डिवेंचर्स है. थोड़े जोक्स हैं, बट इट्स लाइक एवरीवन वांट्स टू बिकम बेचारा. कोई इमोशनल बना के अगर 3-4 वीडियोस हम डाल दें तो ऐसे लाइक्स बढ़ेंगे और ऐसे सब्सक्राइबर बढ़ेंगे. मैं तो ग्रो हो जाऊंगी. आपका क्या होगा? रिजल्ट लाना है तो quality good coaching, quality good problems, and lot of commitment. That's what is required. No competition with anyone, dear students. Let's not discuss all that. But it is like, I don't know. Students expect only lot of fun. Of course, fun is a part of learning. But then these are professional exams. एंड यू नीड टू फोकस. कभी कभी बहुत सारे आप फन क्लास में करने जाए ना तो वो फोकस हट जाता है, और अभी कुछ पता नहीं चलेगा, जब रिजल्ट आता है तब पिंच होता है. वो नहीं होना है तो कमिटेड रहो. ठीक है? राइट. Thank you so much. That's all for today. We will continue business at tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye, all of you.